Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we are diving together into Holiday Cup of Ultra League with a team that I think will break down the meta. The main reason for that is gonna be the main star of the line, Jellicent. So Jellicent is gonna go pretty crazy against anything. You have Ice Beam, you have Shadow Ball, and I do not like at all Bubble Beam. If you didn't know, at the back we also have Charizard, so we're gonna be able to go ahead and save switch or just save closing any match out there with that amazing Pokemon, while Virizion upon the lead is gonna deal with those obstacles that can be troublesome for our Jellicent. So you can see here the synergy, two Pokemon protecting the Jellicent, the backline protecting the Virizion, and stuff like that. So we're looking at a pretty solid line, and to be honest, I don't think that there is any core breaker out there that can work for this line. But anyways, enough about me now. Let's see the battles here, because we are ongoing with the Walrein on the Switch once again, because the reason from a lead was out of there. Now it returns into the battle, and of course those Sacred Swords are gonna do a lot of work. Also, we're gonna see a lot of matches with our Ninetales upon the lead, and we're gonna also watch how we can overcome those obstacles that those Ninetales are gonna provide to us, because Virizion is gonna struggle a lot against the charm damage, and we do not like that. First victory here with a big blast burn on the Ninetales, you love to see it, and Virizion in the next one upon the lead. So Virizion on the mirror, we're just gonna stay in till they reach the 6th one, and I will go for the Stone Edge as soon as I see the swap. However, they knew I was seeing the swap, so yeah, they did not fall for that. They spent the shield, and it doesn't matter at all. Jellicent can come pretty clutch here, and this is why I love Jellicent. It has a pretty good matchup against Giratina, it can go pretty well against Charizard, walling down that Pokemon, and also can go pretty well against Virizion, because no Virizion out there, at least on my concern, my knowledge, is running Leaf Blade, so you can have a much easier matchup against that Virizion for sure, with back-to-back Ice Beams or even the Shadow Ball. Able to farm here the Charizard, we're gonna get out of here with a lot of energy, and we can start spending it. Able to get now to the Shadow Ball, big damage on their shields, and do one more for that Aurorus coming in, and we don't care at all. Look at that, almost 50% from Jellicent, doing a lot of work while keeping that shield alive. We're gonna go in now with the Virizion, because it has a very good matchup against Aurorus, and I'm expecting the switch to their own Virizion and the Sacred Sword. I will try to catch the move on my Charizard. We're gonna do that successfully. Now we're gonna spend the shield, and of course we can safely go ahead and farm a lot of energy before reaching to the Dragon Claw for some safe damage on that Virizion. Down it goes, and now the Blaster will be more than enough to finish off Aurorus. Also, if you haven't noticed yet, my voice is kinda weird, because from yesterday I'm kinda sick and I cannot perform on my commentary that easily. So yeah, just note of that, because the commentary might get even weirder from now on. Having now the Ninetales up on the lead, you love to see it against my Virizion, right? But you do not love to see the ending. I don't know, we're gonna see together. So let's get now to those Shadow Balls against that poor Sandslash, because Sandslash is gonna have a very bad matchup against my Double Kicker, but of course it's gonna struggle a lot against my Jellicent. So I will just go ahead and spend a lot of energy and a lot of effort against that Ninetales, but to be honest, I don't care at all about the Sandslash. I'm just gonna take all the moves now, will farm a lot of energy, and this is what I like about Virizion. With energy ahead, it can still spend, it can thread a shield actually from the Ninetales with that Stone Edge. We will try to switch out to our Charizard. They get to the Weather Ball, doesn't matter at all, we can farm a lot of energy, and there is gonna be the obstacle at the back. Things are not over yet, we are kinda on a bad position, but we can play a lot well with our two shields advantage here. So we're just gonna go ahead and use a Dragon Claw, able to finish off, I believe, the obstacle. Are they gonna keep that shield? Oh, they are gonna keep the shield and also survive the Dragon Claw. That was not expected. I thought the Dragon Claw, even now, after this battle, that Dragon Claw would knock out. Doesn't matter, gonna get there now to my own Dragon Claw, and I have to catch the move on the Virizion. Gonna do that successfully, and of course now just need to reach to that Blast Burn. We can do that, I believe that is a CMP, but will this be enough? And boom! Of course it is, trainers, and that is gonna be a magnificent win. This is the cough that I was telling you about. I'm kinda sick and my voice is kinda weird. Doesn't matter. In the next one now with a magneton on the switch here. And guess what? We're gonna take the discharge. Doesn't matter at all. And now we'll go for the big move. The Shadow Ball. Are they gonna block it? No, they are not. And they are backing out of there. So that was a very fast victory for us. They thought we were running Bubble Beam. This is not gonna happen, trainer. And we're gonna just nuke you down. On the switch now we're having the Snorlax in the next one with the Ice Beam on the normal type, and this is another good factor about Jellicent. You can still pressure the enemy with your Ice Beam even when you are getting hard countered. So I'm just gonna keep farming here. I want them to spend an energy if they feel like they have to, because to be honest, if they try and farm it down completely, they will have to spend a shield, and I understand that they do not want to spend a shield on a matchup like this with a Snorlax against a Ghost type Pokemon. Right now they are almost energy dry, so I will try to completely farm them down. We're gonna do that exactly, and now we expect the Ninetales to return, but instead they bring the Giratina to the battle, and that was kinda bad for me. I was waiting for them to bring that Ninetales, so I went for the switch out to the Charizard immediately, and they totally outplayed me. Now they go in with the Charmer. Doesn't matter, we can still reach to the Blastoise, able to take their shield out of play, and at this point they have 2 shields up, able to get there also to another Blastoise. Will this be enough, trainers? Of course it is not. Another shield is popping up, and I decide to block the next move for sure, because I want to reach to that Dragon Claw, then switch out to the Virizion, and right now I have this win secured. Stone Edge on the Ice type Pokemon slash Fairy type, you'll love to see it, and another Stone Edge on that Giratina, and because we have held up that Dragon Claw, we are sitting on a very good spot with Charizard, able to wrap this battle up with the final Dragon Claw and bring Giratina to its knees. The Devil Lord absolutely had no chance here. Obstacle the next one, you love to see it, trainers. Once again, you love to see it. So we're just gonna farm a little bit more extra, then switch out to our Jellicent, because Jellicent is looking pretty solid against Charizard. Blast Burn is still gonna be resisted, so we're just gonna take one, and of course we're still not less than 50%, which is pretty cool, and I'm just gonna let the next one slide through as well. Another Blast Burn. Look at how crazily good that matchup with Jellicent is, and you know what, I'm just gonna spend the shield completely farm down here, and I will try to go for the Ice Beam for some cheap damage on the Obstagoon. Perhaps that was a mistake. I could have easily thrown there while keeping the shield alive, but I did not want to do that, since now I can go in with my Virizion, expecting the switch to the Talonflame. Okay, so Stone Edge not gonna connect. Okay, I'm not relying on my remembering abilities, because I always forget about stuff, but anyways, so they go for the Brave Bird. How are we gonna be able to win this entire thing? Doesn't matter, let's see here together. So another Dragon Claw. I think we're gonna lose this one, so this is gonna put that Talonflame pretty low. Can we reach to another one? Oh, they leave the match. What was that? Anyways, gonna take it. Anyways, we hit the Virizion alive, right? But we were kinda hurt. I don't remember. So next one, and we're having another Obstagoon up on the lead. This time they stay in, so I'm just gonna go for the Sacred Sword and gonna draw a shield out of them, because they are getting a little bit greedy here with those energy points. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with back-to-back Sacred Sword. I'm just gonna throw my moves on the Obstagoon, take both shields out, and gonna spend the shield because they have a lot of energy. Perhaps they're charging up to a Gang Shot or a Hyper Beam. Do you remember from the previous video, yesterday's video I believe, they went for the Gang Shot against my Virizion, and that was devastating. I do not want that to happen again. So they have the Togekiss at the back, go straight for that Blast Burn, big damage on that Pokemon, and now they come in with that Golem. So Golem definitely a very cool Pokemon to use nowadays for the Holiday Cup meta, but I think we might have the upper hand here, especially if we block this move. It is gonna be the Wild Charge. Big news now, and they come back with the Obstagoon. You know what? I'm just gonna take this move because I know we can survive with this. Trying to get there now to my Sacred Sword, but we can still survive the Night Slash with one single HP Sacred Sword on that obstacle, and now we just need to survive the whole wild charge because I'm pretty sure we are losing that race to the move. Can we do it? Of course we can, but IVs really matter, and if you didn't know, yeah, you do not need 100% Jellicent for Ultra League. I just have one which is 100% because I do not have enough excels to build another one with the optimal IVs. So into the next one now with the Charizard, and of course I'm gonna save switch in there my own Charizard, and Blast Burn can be taken. At this point I'm expecting them to get out of here with their own switch. This is not gonna happen, so my Blast Burn is gonna connect, trying to snipe them down with my Dragon Claw, but they know better. They try to catch a Dragon Claw on that poor Magnezone while keeping some energy alive for their Charizard. So we're not looking at a pretty cool situation. It all depends on their last Pokemon. So what is it gonna be? I'm just gonna farm a little bit more extra. Because I know that even after those mirror shots, my Stone Edge can still hurt a lot the poor Charizard. So I'm just gonna take one more mirror shot, go for an extra double kick, now press the move. I'm pretty sure we can undercharge here and bring that Magnezone to a point that we can take advantage of its final HP point with one single extra double kick. They have at the back the Virizion of their own, and I will try to switch out to my Jellicent, catch the move, this time the Dragon Claw, not even the Blast Burn, and you know what, I'm just gonna let that slide through as well, because I know this cannot be another Blast Burn, and we will just farm down completely the Charizard. They return into the battle with the Virizion, and of course now we have to throw those Shadow Balls against that Pokemon. You know what, that was a mistake. I should have gone there with the Ice Beam. I don't know why I threw the Shadow Ball, but yeah, that was definitely a mistake. You always need to drop that super effective move, right? They managed to take the move because they thought, you know what, they threw the Shadow Ball, so this can easily be a Bubble Beam, but guess what, I misplayed myself there. So Ice Beam is the better move against the grass types, right? Right. Into the next one now with the Virizion once again up on the lead. You saw a lot of Ninetales leads, but also I managed to capture a lot of those Virizion's leads, and to be honest, most of those times I totally outplayed my opponents, especially with trying to catch on my Charizard on the Jellicent. It depends on the situation, of course. So now we're gonna go for that Blast Burn for big damage on the opposing Charizard and still outspeed to the Dragon Claw. Are we gonna be able to take a shield out of them? Of course we are, which means now that Jellicent can go in and do some solid work. However, I go with Virizion because I know I have the Sacred Sword ready to go, which means that we can finish off that poor Charizard in one blow, and of course we will try to catch once again, this time on the Jellicent, and that was absolutely awesome. At the back they have the Wall Rain, so now we know the whole line of theirs. Let's go now with the Shadow Ball, big damage on the Shadow Walrus, and of course we will try to pressure even more here with that Shadow Ball of ours. I know that the Earthquake is gonna connect for big damage, but it doesn't matter at all. The Powder Snows are still not enough to finish me off. Virizion returns into the battle, and for some reason once again I go for that Shadow Ball. That is a mistake, doesn't matter though, since we have a lot of energy on Virizion. I don't know what is wrong with me. Perhaps my illness was kinda striking back there like Mewtwo, but we're just gonna finish off Virizion on the end. Into the next one now with a Virizion up on the lead. What did I tell you? A lot of Virizions on Go Battle League, on Holiday Cup of Ultra League, so we will try to catch one or two moves once again. Let's see now, we're gonna get there to that Sacred Sword and try to catch now the move on our Charizard. So here we're just gonna keep pressuring with our Pokemon because they have one of the best counters for Charizard. They can still take the move while reaching to the Meteor Beam, but you know what, I can still pressure a lot if they get greedy. This is what happens, of course, and now we can reach to the Dragon Claw, gonna let that slide through, and if it is not the Meteor Beam, we might be in a bad situation. However, they do not want to risk it anymore, just gonna go for the Weather Ball before we reach to another move. One double kick will be enough to finish off that Aurorus, and of course now the Sacred Sword is just gonna do some really nice and chip damage on the Virizion. But once again, we will try to catch on the Jellicent like on the previous battle, and that is gonna be pretty fantastic. Gonna get there now for the Shadow Ball. This time I did that intentionally because I know they do not have a lot of energy, actually a lot of HP, not energy, so getting there to the Shadow Ball will be much problematic for them, because now they might think that I have Bubble Beam over Ice Beam, which makes no sense at all, because at the back they have the Walrus, and I would go for that Shadow Ball straight no matter what. I know that at some point I have to block the Earthquake, but it doesn't matter. Let's get straight to the Shadow Ball. Big damage on the Walrus, and perhaps they thought, well, they do not have Ice Beam at all, they have Bubble Beam, I have 2 shields, I do not have to worry about anything, just gonna take the Bubble Beam and the game is over. Well, guess what? We're just gonna destroy you down with another Shadow Ball, because we do not bait here. In the final one, trainers, with the Virizion up on the lead, and of course once again we will try to catch. What I want to do in situations like this is to try and put some psychology test on my opponent. I saw that they want to go ahead and throw at the third one, so I was like, you know what, you're just gonna throw on the third one on the second attempt, so I'm just gonna try and catch on my Charizard. And because they're not getting out of there, I stayed a little bit of extra time there, getting hit by a couple of those double kicks before they reached the move, because I was pretty sure that I can stall a little bit of time just in case I need my switch timer to become live once again. Let's get now to the Stone Edge against the final Pokemon. It is gonna be the Giratina, and Jellicent will return into the battle. All we have to do is to land one big move, but how will this gonna end? Because Dragon Claw here is still gonna do some chip damage in combination with the Dragon Breath, which is gonna add up in damage over time. They're gonna block the move, and of course now I just have to reach to one more Shadow Ball before the end game here. One other Dragon Claw, one extra Shadow Ball now for the victory. Down goes their final shield, and all I need to do is to reach to that final Shadow Ball once again. Remember, 5 for the first, 5 for the second, 4 for the third, and now Lapras stands no chance at all. So that's all, trainers. Thank you for watching, thank you for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers.